Hello, how are you? Are you there? Can you see me? Hello? Can anybody answer me? Hello, Celia? Okay, good. Alex? Okay, very good. Hello, Alex, and the rest of you. So, we are going to start now. And remember, you need to have before you your notes. Okay, so your notes are these. We're going to start with the text part. But before, I like you to remember some things that we studied last year, and they are related to cells. You remember that we studied cells, and we knew that there were two different kinds of cells. Can anybody tell me the two different kinds of cells we had? Can anybody tell me? Remember, there were two different types of cells. Can anybody remember the name of them? I remember one that was plant cell. You remember? Plant cell. It was a kind of cell that was plant cell. You remember? And one of them was plant cells, and the other one was, do you remember? Ines is right, but we're talking about cells, and we are trying to remember things that we studied last year, and we knew that there were two different kinds of cells. One of them were plant cells, and the other one were animal cells. Oh, animal cells. Very good. And remember more things. There were two different kinds of cells according to the nucleus. And Ines is right, because one of them were cells that had a nucleus inside, and there were other cells that didn't have any nucleus at all. You remember the name for cells with a nucleus? You remember cells, the name of cells that had a nucleus inside? Both plant cells and animal cells are cells with a nucleus. Do you remember the name of this kind of cells that had a nucleus? You remember? This is the correct answer, okay? Eukaryotic cells. Okay, eukaryotic cells were cells that had a nucleus. So our cells, because we are animals, and the same as in the case of plants, are eukaryotic cells. And the opposite, cells that didn't have any nucleus at all, were prokaryotic. So eukaryotic, we, and all animals and plants. And prokaryotic, other kind of individuals, such as bacteria. Remember, bacteria were cells that didn't have a nucleus at all. Okay, very good. And can anybody remember some components of a cell? Some components of a cell. We know that inside we have a nucleus. Can anybody remember some components of a cell? Maybe you remember that all cells had not only a nucleus, but they had a kind of border. Does anybody remember the name for the border of a cell? Membrane. Very good, very good. And in the inside the membrane, there was a part that had a lot of things. Was a jelly-like part. You remember? No, organism is a synonym with a living thing. Okay. So we have a membrane, and inside the membrane, you remember the name for this part that occupies the whole of membranes, and we can find there organelles inside. You remember the name? Do I have to tell you? This is the correct answer. Cytoplasm. Remember, all cells had a membrane and a cytoplasm. Okay, and inside, only eukaryotic cells had a nucleus. Okay, can anybody remember the name of these cells that were specialized in a kind of job? I'm asking for things that we studied last year. I'm asking for the name of some cells that are specialized in a kind of job. You remember? You don't remember. You don't remember? No, no, no. Specialized cells. Okay? And can anybody remember when two or more cells that are the same, are doing the same job, work together? We don't have a cell, we have a group of cells, specialized cells that work together. Can anybody remember the name of this thing that is made by all these cells that are working together? You remember? Do you remember? When many cells are working together, they are making a tissue. You remember? Don't you remember? Did you study last year? Really? A tissue. Un tejido. A tissue. Yes. And when some tissues work together, can anybody remember what is formed? When some tissues that are composed of specialized cells are working together, they make what? They make what? Yes, Lucia, an organ. An organ. Some organs are heart, kidneys, bones, muscles. And when some organs work together, they make what? To perform a function, they make what? Imagine some organs that are working together, all bones together, all muscles together. Imagine the team that is composed of the stomach, the intestine, a system. Very good, a system. And when many systems, all systems are together, they make what? They make what? They make what? They make you, they make me, okay? They make an organism, a living thing. So a living thing is composed of many systems. Systems are composed of organs. Organs are made by tissues, and tissues are made by specialized cells, okay? And all cells have in our body have a nucleus, so we are eukaryotic individuals. So this is very important. And now, speaking about specialized cells, can anybody remember the name for the specialized cells that is able to make urine? We can find them in our kidneys. So, I'm looking for the name of these specialized cells that make our kidneys. Can anybody remember? Okay, anybody remember? Nephrons. Okay, nephrons. And now we're going to study the nervous system. So you have to think about specialized cells. Specialized cells. All of them have the same shape, the same components of any cell, any eukaryotic cell. So they have a membrane, they have a cytoplasm, they have a nucleus. Okay, all of them. Inside the cytoplasm, they have organelles, but they are specialized cells. In this case, these specialized cells are specialized in uh, in um, in carrying from in one case from our senses to the brain their nervous impulse, and on the other side they are carrying the orders of our brain to our muscles. So they are specialized cells, and these cells are called neurons. When some neurons work together, they make a nerve. Okay, all nerves together make the nervous system. Do you understand? Do you understand? Valeria, please. Valeria. Valeria. Okay, stop doing that. Please. Okay, so now let's go to our text. So you have there the nervous system, and the nervous system controls and coordinates interaction, nutrition, and reproduction. Okay, they are the three life processes, three vital processes. So, and they are controlled by the nervous system. We have to study somewhere the nervous system, and we choose interaction. But the nervous system controls not just interaction, but also reproduction and nutrition. And the nervous system is the highway along which our brain sends and receives information about what is happening in the body and around it. So, is the part of our body that controls everything, everything. And this highway is made up of billions of nerves, and nerves are made of neurons. This is important. This is very important. Okay, and if it's not clear yet, another sentence: neurons are nerve cells. This is crucial for you to remember, and they carry electrical messages around our body. So neurons have a cell body with a cytoplasm, a nucleus, and special parts called dendrites and axons. Now, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this drawing. This drawing. If you take a look at this drawing, this is the look of a neuron. This is the look of a neuron. Okay, it looks different from any other cells, but in fact, actually, they're the same because they have here a membrane. Okay, like every cell. Inside they have a cytoplasm. You have here a cytoplasm. They are eukaryotic cells, so you can find here the nucleus. Okay, and they are specialized. Why? Because they are prepared to send information to and from the brain. And you remember when we studied our senses have nervous terminals that were able to transform some kind of energy into electrical energy. You remember our eyes have the retina, and there you can find some terminals, some nervous terminals that are able to transform light energy into electric energy. And the same with the sense of hearing. So we have in the cochlea some nervous terminals that are able to transform, to change sound energy into electrical energy. You remember that? Okay? And that's the same with all senses. So when we are thinking about neurons, we have to think about electrical energy. And in fact, electrical energy, this one. You see clearly here, electrical energy is moving across the body of the cell, from the dendrites to this part, this long part called axon, to another dendrite. Okay, okay. So this is a neuron, and this neuron is connected with another neuron here, another here, maybe hundreds of neurons. This is why this is called the nervous system. Okay, and this is a tissue because many cells are working together. So remember, it's the same as any cell, but it's specialized, and this is the reason why you can find this shape in this neuron. Okay, so this part is the cell body, as you can see. This is the nucleus, and which is so special about neurons, that you have here this part, okay, that looks like a tree, but it's not a tree. These are terminals, and with these terminals, this particular cell is able to get in contact, in touch with other neuron here, maybe other here, other behind. Okay, and this kind of shape is called dendrites. This is one dendrite, this is another dendrite, this is another dendrite, another, many dendrites. But there is one of them that is different. Is this? This is a kind of dendrite, but it's different. This is special. This is special, and this is called axon. Axon. In Spanish, axon, same. In Spanish, dendrita, more or less the same. Okay, and this is the axon. This is special because this is the pathway by which the electrical message is pulled from these cells to another one. Okay, to another one. So in this case, in this drawing, the electrical impulse goes from left to right. Okay, all along the inside of the axon. And here maybe you can find some special parts. This is a kind of protein, and this protein is called myelin. In Spanish, mielina, to protect the axon. Okay, so instead, a neuron might have only one axon. Normally they have only one axon. Axon carry electrical messages away from the nerve cell body, and myelin, this name, this is the name for this part here. This is a kind of protein, that are wrapping and protecting this part of the axon. Okay, and that helps the axon to move quicker the nervous impulse. Okay, I think it's easy for you to understand that, and I'd like you to go to your exercise part. And you have here in this part, you have here. I know. You can see my arrow. Sorry. But if you are attentive, you don't need my arrow. Okay. Sorry. Good. So go to this part, and we're going to try to do together this exercise. This is a very easy exercise. And the exercise reads this way. So the neuron structure has been labeled numerically. Your job is to write the correct name for each part and describe its function below. So you have here number one, number two. So in this case, please. Sorry. Is any better now? Is any better now? Sorry for... Okay. Even now? Now? Is any better now? Is better? Thank you. So Go back to our exercise, and you have here some numbers, and asking you not that for the function. This is up to you to do at home, but for the names. So, and asking now for name for the number 1. So, this is number 1. This is number 1. Okay, number 1. And can you see it? In this case my hand? No. Okay, so number 1 is the same. Number 1. So it's pointing to this part here. This part here. It's pointing to this part here. It's like a branch of a tree. Dendrit with D, Lucia. Dendrit with D. Not with T. Dendrit. Dendrit. Number 1 is a dendrit. Very good, very good. So this is a dendrit, and it's your job to write down here the function. Okay, below you have to write the function. Now let's go for number 2. If you look closely to number 2, number 2 is pointing to this inner part of the cytoplasm. So, can you tell me the name for number 2? The nucleus. Yes, this is the nucleus. A any cell, a any eukaryotic cell, a nucleus. Very good, very good. And it's up to you. You have to write down, okay, on your own, the function for nucleus. Now, number 3. You look closely. Number 3 is pointing to this part, this border part between the cytoplasm and the outside of the cell. Do you remember the name for this part in this kind of cells, in this neuron? This part, this is the border, this is the limit of the cell. A very important part in a cell because it controls many things that are entering or exiting the cell. This is the membrane. Yes, this is the membrane. Very good, very good. Now take a look here, number 4. Number 4 is the name for this long part that protrudes from the neuron and is looking for this part. Does anybody remember the name for this long part of a neuron? A very important part. Yes, you need an X. This is an axon. An axon. Remember, axons are the part by which the cell can send the nervous impulse from itself to another neuron. Okay? And if you look closely, the direction is from left in this drawing, from left to right. And now let's go to number 5. And you have here a kind of thing. This is a protein. That is wrapping and protecting the axon. Ines, take care with your spelling. Myelin is the same as in Spanish. I want to write in Spanish. In Spanish the name is that mielina, but this is in Spanish, okay? In Spanish. And remember in medicine and chemistry, all things that finishes with ina in Spanish are proteínas. Así que mielina, etcétera, las cosas que terminan en ina suelen ser proteínas. Very good. So, and let's finish this part. So, go to number 6, and you have here number 6. Number 6 is this part that are very similar to this, and you don't know the name of them. I'm going to write them. This is the synapse. Okay, synapse. Okay, very good. Synapses. Very good. So now, okay, so go to the next exercise, and in the next exercise you have some some questions there, some questions there, and the first one is point out the correct answer, and the first question is a neuron is. Can anybody tell me the letter for the correct answer? A neuron is. You only have to write the letter. So we are here in number 21.1. A neuron is, and this is yes, the nerve cell. The nerve cell. A neuron is the nerve cell. So why not the interactive cell? Because all cells are interactive. Why not the locomotor cell? Because there are no locomotor cells. There are muscle cells and bone cells. And why not the sensitive cells? Because there are many types of sensitive cells. Okay, you have sensitive cells in your ear, sensitive cells in your mouth, in many parts of your body, okay, in all your senses. Okay, very good. So let's go to the next question. So you have the nerve impulse enters the neuron through the, and this is important. This is important. So number 2. So you can choose between dendrites, nucleus, cytoplasm, or axon. Yes, dendrites. The correct answer is A, dendrites. Okay, it enters through the dendrites and exits through the axon. Okay, cytoplasm has nothing to do, and nucleus has nothing to do in this case. So let's go to the next sentence. So good, very good, very good. Now, number 3, the connection between two or more neurons is called, attention, this is important, you have to know that, is called the link, no, the joint, no, the junction, no, the synapse. This is the connection. This is the name for one part of the end of the axon, and this is the name for the connection. And this is a very important concept. Synapse. Okay, synapse. Synapse is the name for the connection between two or more neurons. Synapse. We're going to study many things about synapses. Okay, link is a too general word. A too general word. Link is used in computers. Junction is a word that is the same, but it's used for roads. A junction, un cruce, okay, una bifurcación, a junction. A joint, you know, this is used in our field. Is used for two or more bones, normally two bones that are together. Okay, and synapse is the correct name. For the neuron. So let's go to the next sentence, and we have the nerve impulse inside the neuron is due to, this is important. So the nerve impulse inside the neuron, because it's not the same inside that between or outside. So talking about the nerve impulse inside the neuron is due to what kind of energy? Mechanical energy, chemical energy, electric energy, or kinetic energy? What do you think is the correct answer? So the nerve impulse is due to electric, yes, electric energy, you know that. Mechanical energy, impossible, because mechanical energy is the energy that we use when we are pushing something. We are using mechanical energy. When we are hammering something, we are using mechanical energy. sound energy is a kind of mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Okay, chemical energy, impossible. Chemical energy is the energy that is stored in our food. It's the energy we use to perform our nutrition function. So this is chemical energy. And kinetic energy is energy due to the speed. Okay, anything that is with a movement that has a speed has kinetic energy. So impossible. The only correct answer is electric energy. Very good. And now the last sentence. The nerve impulse between two or more neurons is due to. You don't need to. You don't have to know this answer. Okay, but maybe you can guess. The nerve impulse between two or more neurons is due to what kind of energy? What kind of energy? Could be nuclear energy. Do we have nuclear energy in our body? See? Impossible. Is it potential energy? Potential energy is energy that is due to its position. Any object has a potential energy because of its position. So imagine you have anything here, okay, and its position gives some energy to this book. Why? Because if it falls down, it develops energy. Its position. Okay. So, but in the case, impossible. So only can be electric or chemical. And in this case, it's chemical. And next day, I'm going to explain you why it's chemical. So we have three different kind of energy here. Remember, speaking about our senses. Okay, my sense of sight receives light energy. It turns into electric energy when it enters in my nervous system, but only inside the neuron, because between a neuron and another neuron there is a gap there. In this gap, this electrical energy is turned into chemical energy. Okay, and this is basic for medicaments. Okay, this is basic for you to know. Okay, very good. So now for next day, you got to finish these exercises. I think the exercise is finished, but you have to go to your text part and try to read the whole text. Okay, and prepare the next. And now this is the end of our class today. So I want to give you thank you for your attention and be prepared. Okay. So before lunch, maybe if I can before lunch, I'm sending you some exercises of maths, but I'm not sure. It all depends on some things. So bye bye to all of you. Bye bye.